Hey
Shut
man,
up.
I still gotta send you the
Ah!
story, but I'm gonna send you the arc story first.
Okay, yeah, don't send me artwork for that other thing.
The artwork for the other thing is gonna be awesome, man. It's gonna be dynamic. So
Okay.
Hey, I got some updates for my stuff too. I was at a little convention this weekend, local convention. I hired
yeah,
a cover artist. That's a really good, excellent cover artist.
I'm probably gonna want to grab a couple more cover artists for this, but anyway, so um,
Welcome to Toy Talk, everybody.
Are we on? We're not live.
That's Terry, that's David, and
Monday
I'm
live
Dan.
stream. Yeah, I snuck it in on you there, David.
Oh,
So
God.
Dan, if you want to introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah, I'm Dan Thompson. I'm owner of Zone Comics and Toys and publisher of Actionverse Entertainment and writer of The Dominus. It's a comic book series, graphic novel series I do. And I like cats and G.I. Joe.
David,
Ah,
long walks on the beach.
yeah, no. I'm David T. Allen, or if you'd like, you can call me Super Dave 817. Uh, I am the proprietor of the G.I. Joe New News Review channel, and I am also a vintage toy collector of G.I. Joe and other vintage toys, and a huge comic book collector and fan.
All right, and I think most of the people here on the channel know me. I'm Terry of Action Media Toys. Action Media LLC is my company, and I've wanted to make a comic book. I've wanted to sell toys. I've wanted to own a comic shop. I wanted to do all this stuff like ever since I was a kid. That was like the big dream that I had when I was a kid.
All of us.
Yeah, and now, like at 42 years old, I finally gotten the opportunity to bring to life a comic book that's something I thought up, inspired by all of the things from when I was a kid that I loved and still love today. So that will be the ARC team, the ARC team. And with Dan's background in writing and publishing 2 books already, working on your 3rd, the Dominus series, Dan offered to help. So I am making the story. I'm writing the story, making my own edits to it, sending it over to Dan. Dan is going to go over all of it and see what makes sense to him and help write and edit as well.
It's kind of the old Marvel way of doing things. We're like plot by Terry, script by Dan, you know.
Right.
So we're gonna make it the best possible thing it can be. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. If you like adventure, if you like high stakes, that sort of thing, this is gonna be up your alley.
Adventure, action, suspense. And one of the things that we're doing with this is taking parts of mythology, parts of legends, and incorporating them into our stories so that we have something people can reference to in real life being played out in a fictional story in front of them. We'll have physical distribution of printed materials. We'll have digital distribution of the comic. And afterwards, after we get this first comic off the ground, the goal is to make a line of action figures based on this comic. And if it is successful, there will be another comic that's already written. I've done my part. I've got to send it to Dan. And a line of figures and a play set to go with that book.
And here's the thing that Terry approached me about when he was selling me on this idea of doing this with him. There's a lot of Kickstarters out there and stuff like that for figures and toys. Might be one figure, a figure line, and they all do a really great job. But as soon as you get the figure, it kind of drops off. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about like what was our big connection to G.I. Joe or the Transformers or He-Man or Star Wars, and it was heck, you could even throw in Mask and the Smurfs. It had a common theme. You were vested in the characters because you saw them weekly on cartoons, or you read them in comics, or saw them in a movie, and now you have the figures to collect. So, and it's kind of the theory like you go to the movies, you see something like Rocky or you see the Expendables or Batman. You might drive fast in your car a little bit, you know, because you think you're Batman or you're Stallone or whatever. Or you want, I'm going to go train or whatever. You want to kind of relive that adventure. That's why people buy T-shirts and posters and stuff like that. So that's the philosophy we have had on this, that we're going to create a wonderful story that's going to rope you in, so you're emotionally connected to the characters and you care about them and want to see their further exploits. And we're going to have a toy line. And the toys are going to be pretty cool. Terry's spent a lot of time researching the toy making business. There are some things that can be made here in the States, some things that just can't be made here in the States for certain reasons. But a lot of love and effort and research has been put into this. And so I'm very happy to have a hand in making Terry's dream come true. You know, so it's a fun process. And I think at the end result, I just told Terry off camera, or backstage rather, David and audience, that I had a fellow come in about a month ago and bought volume 1 and 2 of my book. And, you know, I was like, well, come back in and tell me what you think. I was like, if you don't like it, just lie. You know, I always joke like that. And I didn't see him for 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, man, he must not like the book. I was like, damn, you know, I was like, he was a pretty cool dude. Comes in out of the blue, like, dude, I loved it. And he's just going on and on and on about it. I start turning red because I'm blushing, you know, or pink or whatever when you blush. And it's just fun to talk about it, right? And then I said, okay, read book 2. Give it a couple days, read book 2, because the time passes in the books and just you can digest it better. So then he comes back 2 weeks later, which was this past Wednesday. I was like looking at him, did you like it? He goes, dude, I loved it. And we're just sitting there talking. I got a line of people that are just waiting to get checked out as I'm talking to this guy about characters and why did you do this to this guy? And oh man, I'm mad at you for that. And you know, but what's going to happen? I'm like, well, it's all going to work out good for everybody, I promise. But there's no greater feeling. Oh, and then Saturday morning, I told Terry that a boy, probably about my son's age, maybe a year older, came in with his mom and they were looking for comics and stuff. And I just casually mentioned I had written a book. I showed him the book and they grabbed the first volume of Dominus. And the boy's like, can you sign it? Because if it takes off one day, this would be worth a lot of money. And man, it just like, I was like, I don't care if I do any dollars today. I mean, I do. We had a really great Saturday, but like that made my day. And it just, Terry, there's no greater feeling than when somebody talks to you about something you created and you brought them joy. You brought some type of emotion, joy, anger, sadness, whatever. You moved them in some way, even if they don't like it. You still moved them in some way,
Right.
and it's better than just sitting on the sidelines talking about doing something. You're actually doing something, and it matters to some people. So it's a cool feeling, and I can't wait for you to experience that.
It's a meaningful thing. Well, Terry's already done that. He's done some really cool 3D products.
Well, aside from that, before I was as heavily into toys and stuff, I was in a band for many years. I played music for I played music for about 20 years. And I had a lot of really great shows, played with a lot of great bands and a lot of very cool places. Met a lot of awesome people. And, you know, we were a recording band. We distributed our music. We had people buying it. We had people, you know, getting autographs and stuff from us. And that's a very different feeling when somebody is that interested in something that you've created. And I guess, like, now that I don't have that aspect of my life anymore, I kind of hope to regain some of that with the ARC stories. And I also want something cool, to me at least, that my kids can look back on or be a part of when they're older.
So my son loves Dogman, and he's writing his own Dogman books right now. And I had the greatest like dad, father, son unlock achievement ever. I'm sitting on the couch and my son sits next to me and he's reading my book. And I was like, what? I was like, you reading daddy's book? He's like, oh yeah, I'm reading the second one. And it was just like, oh man, it's like you just won the lottery. And, you know, he's asking me questions. Is he going to die? I'm like, well, you got to read the book, honey. You'll probably be mad at daddy at the end of it, but you know, it'll all work out the third one. Terry, my best friend asked me for you to 3D print and he was supposed to message me. I can't remember what it was, something for classified skill, because I was showing him this bad boy over here, the Cobra Temple that Terry made, which is freaking phenomenal. Can you guys see that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
just
missed
to be
the
clear, I did not design that. I only made some changes to the files and printed it.
I don't care. You as far as I'm concerned, you made it, you built it. You didn't put it together because I had to do that at night. But
I missed the opportunity to do that because Mr. Terry was giving life, or somebody in his relationship was giving life, I should say.
Right.
I mean, come on, Terry, priorities, dude. No.
Right. I mean, you can still get one, David.
Okay, but I'm not going to have that shipped. That thing will cost me $100.
Mine came with I don't know if that's standard, but mine came with a highest snake eyes,
It did not.
and it was pretty cool. It was really cool.
Now you're just trolling
I heard
me.
that was worth money, and I opened it up too. I don't know, but
Now you're just trolling me. I got my Hayek toys coming in. I got that Crocmaster. I showed that Crocmaster off a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I
What'd
got
you get today, David?
I got today some comics from the comic convention, but they're in the other room, unfortunately. A vintage like Marvel book that was like kind of a reprint of issues 3, 5, and 6. They changed some of the stuff to take the violence out from Marvel books, and it has a cool painted cover on it. I think by Vallejo or somebody. Remember those old Marvel books, Dan, from the 80s? One of those. And then I got a big Prestige Treasury Edition book from IDW that presented G.I. Joe #1, G.I. Joe 80, 82, and then issue 155, and some extra covers and stuff like that. And it's a Treasury Edition. Those are my 2 G.I. Joe purchases this weekend, but I bought a bunch of stuff, comics and stuff.
I have a original G.I. Joe Treasury Edition of #1.
Oh yeah.
And I think I got that when I was in the 4th grade, which was just a couple of years ago. And anytime I get sick or I'm out for a couple of days, I pull that sucker out and read it and just magically feel better.
Well, I have that exact same thing, and I get all the creators of the G.I. Joe brand to sign that. I got about 30 people on that. Also, Terry, I got Major Blood 166 came in.
Yes.
Hey, did you guys get your Quick Kick in Beachhead?
Yeah, that came in last week. The funny thing is, my Walmart the other day, I was there. I went back after my bereavement, and they had one on the shelf.
Huh.
I was stunned.
Wow.
Yeah, I was stunned. I was like,
my
what
Walmart still doesn't even have places for G.I. Joe.
Yeah, well, this didn't have a place. It was just sitting someplace, and someone made a label for it. Thankfully, my people have the wherewithal to make a label for a product that doesn't have a spot yet, and they put it on the shelf and found a home for it. Can you believe that?
Here, David. Move here and work at this store.
Huh?
Move here and work at our store.
I'm actually going to venture to a Walmart tomorrow. Wish me luck.
Oh, boy. I was stunned. Literally, my jaw dropped. I was like, what the hell is this? But yeah, that's all my cool stuff. But I have some cool news to add to you guys' cool news, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Go for it.
So I got a bunch of vendors and stuff for my convention that I'm going to be doing next year. And I was looking for this one particular artist that I've been kind of like not hounding or hunting, but I really like his art. He's a local artist, and he's been in the comic industry for 35 years, since the late 80s, like 89 is the earliest I think I remember his artwork on comics. He's worked on Malibu Comics, Marvel, DC. His name is Jeff Whiting. We just hired him as our exclusive cover artist for our launch book, our adventure team launch book, which is the very first book in our series, and it's the center of our universe. And there's probably 10 to 12 books in this universe that we're doing, but this is the first one. It's going to launch the whole project, and it's the farthest along. We've already got the first 3 scripts in. We've already got an artist finished almost with the first issue. We got a couple of variant covers. We did a whole presentation for the project and stuff like that. So it was so exciting that I was able to sign this guy as our exclusive cover artist for our project.
That's very cool. Well, speaking of comics, real quick, just because I don't want to forget, Transformers number 24 comes out next week.
Oh, I thought it
And-
already came out.
No, 23 is out. 24 is the last
Oh.
of the Daniel Warren Johnson run.
From
And,
what I
so we-
understand, it is like beyond anything that we've expected. It's like
I peeked through it while we
yeah,
were
I heard
unpacking
it's
them.
incredible, and it's worth being the last part of this whole thing. But yeah, I heard it's a phenomenal.
I think it might be the best book that that Skybound has put out. And I haven't read it yet. I just looked through it.
That's what
Like
I've heard.
it gave me goosebumps. And I think when I read it, if you really, really read it, it might make you a little teary eyed.
Yeah,
But
that's
it
what I've
ties
heard.
in everything from issue 1 to the last issue, at 23. And
Yeah.
it's solid. It's
It's
so
so satisfactory to have a final part of an arc that really launches this property into a stratosphere that it deserves. I haven't read a Transformer comic this good in quite a long time.
No, is
This
this
guy-
it? Is it done?
This is his last issue of this.
yeah,
his
Robert
run.
Kirkman is going to take over the writing chores with
Yeah, he's
25.
got a lot
and-
to prove.
And Dan Mora is going to take over the art, and the art looks incredible.
Oh yeah, the art's fantastic. Whether Robert Kirkman can stand up to Daniel Warren Johnson's writing is another thing. But
I
he-
think that's going to be fine. Or Robert Kirkman's the man.
okay.
We're talking
Yeah, I think
Walking
we'll be
Dead,
fine.
Invincible. I mean, come on. You
Well, I
know,
like Skybound. I mean, I like a lot of his work, but I don't know this. Maybe I'm just biased because
Daniel Warren Johnson put a lot into it, man.
Roy Rivals is fine. I like it a lot, but I don't think it's as good as Transformers.
I would agree with that. I
I would too, but also we're probably biased because we grew up with Transformers. So if Optimus Prime looks good, we're gonna love Optimus Prime, you know. So
I have
I think
issue 23 here that I need to read.
yeah, I got to read that one too. And then yeah, so I peeked through it and oh my gosh, and then I just put a new poster on the door for Transformers advertising 25. And on the backside, it shows the Dreadnought War, the Quintesson War, and then there's something else it shows. But yeah, I obviously I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but I peeked through it. My guys were like, "Oh, you're cheating." And I was like, "Yeah, I am." And I was just like, "Damn!" I was like, "I cannot wait to take this home Wednesday and read this. Like, go in a room and read it."
Dan, we're gonna be
Yes,
talking. We're gonna be talking in the after this is over. Okay.
What's that?
We're gonna talk after this is over.
Okay. Terry's gonna hit that live button, and then like I lose my license, and you know,
Yeah,
Don't do that.
just surprise, just jump right in. And
Yeah,
big-
I can't see patients anymore and all that. And you're like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? I'm like,
Yeah, they've
I'm not
really
a doctor,
done
but I play one in my comic and toy store. So
they've done a really good job with that. I've hands off to Skybound for Transformers. Really, really good job.
man, I tell you, we're 2 years into the Transformers book, 2 years into this whole thing. And I like the IDW stuff, the G.I. Joe stuff when it first came out. I thought season 1 and season 2 of G.I. Joe, that's what we called it, was really good.
Yeah.
And then after that, it just fell apart. And then Transformers took a while to get into, but when they did Robots in Disguise and More Than Meets the Eye, I thought those series were really good. And then inexplicably, they stopped doing them and they kind of changed it up and it fell apart. And I mean, we went from like in the Hama G.I. Joe book, he had some issue where the Joes were killing rednecks or something, and it was kind of dumb. And I had like half the subscriptions dropped off right away. But we're like selling more of those books now than we have even back at the heyday of IDW and all that. And all the books are fun. All the books are good. They're all entertaining. And it's just, man, it's night and day difference. Like I'm tempted to get rid of all my IDW Transformer stuff now. Some of it I think is worth money, but
Oh, there's some decent stuff in there. It's not.
There
all-
is.
You're not
There
going to have
is.
100%. Even
there is.
Larry,
But man, I'm all on board with the Skybound stuff. Like
even Larry kind of takes deeps and valleys and stuff like that. It's just the nature of comics. Because
oh yeah, I'm
that's how
reading the
you have to-
compendiums, so
you have to
that's
rebrand
very
it.
evident in the old stuff.
You have to rebrand it. You have to reimagine. You have to add new life to it. Look at these characters. If you think of it, you're a comic book guy, Dan. Green Lantern. Green Lantern has had so many different lives over the years and so many different peaks and valleys. And there's some excellent things. You know, you can get the Neil Adams Green Arrow Green Lantern. You can get the Kyle Rayner. Then you can get the Jeff Johns. And there's a lot of stuff in between there that's pretty decent, but some of it's not. You know, Guy Gardner, you can take him and leave him. You know, you got to look at comics are
He's a man
a
of the cloth.
medium. Comics are a medium that it has to grow, it has to contract in order for it to breathe and continue, because it's a continuous medium.
Yeah, I get that. But you can also do radical departures, and IDW did that. Like they were on a really good roll with what they were doing, like the whole thing with Megatron becoming an Autobot, him dealing with the Decepticon Justice Division. That was great, and then it ended, and then it just went to some other thing that had nothing to do with anything. And it's like, what is this? It's like you're watching, and then you watch, and then they ended that whole universe and started it over, and like I fell asleep 3 times trying to read the first issue of what they wrote, and it was like some girl boss, some little wimpy robot, no Optimus Prime, no Megatron, no Starscream, and like that's what I love with Kirkman. He understands storytelling. He understands how to convey message. And yeah, we don't have Snake Eyes yet in G.I. Joe. I'm fine with that.
Me too.
But, like,
I was just talking about that the other day.
We get the essence of Cobra Commander, how he's supposed to be. We get the essence of Duke, how he's supposed to be. We get Optimus Prime and Megatron in their purest forms. Like I was explaining to somebody the series, trying to get him into it. I said, when it starts out, Starscream's in charge, and he's ruthless. And then Soundwave becomes in charge. You think, well, they might lighten up. He's even more evil than Starscream. And then Shockwave takes over, and he's more evil than 2 of them combined. And then Megatron comes back and puts them all to heel. And it's like, and he's like over the top evil.
It really tells us a background of Starscream and why he is that way.
That plays into the next issue. It's beautiful.
It all pays off.
Yes, it's. I think. And I'm not saying it because it's one of my favorite books right now, and I probably sound like I'm a shill for Skybound, but I mean,
if
Kirkman
you like it, Dan.
Kirkman is from Kentucky, but Daniel Warren Johnson should get some type of award for his art and his storytelling.
He definitely needs to get an Eisner Award or a Harvey Award or something, because this is one of the best arcs of story. And I'm talking Transformers, not Daredevil, not Spider-Man, not Batman. Transformers. It's one of the best.
They could use him on Spider-Man.
The last 3 years.
And the new Batman book released this week, Batman issue 1, and that was actually really good. And we completely sold out. It's been we didn't even sell out of Batman Hush. Yeah. Yeah, it's Matt Fraction's the writer. Phil Jimenez is doing the art. Phil did the art prior to the Hush 2 storyline. But the Batman's got a little bit of a new costume. It's back to blue and gray. It's back to basic storytelling. It looks great. It's not all tech heavy. It's not all the tropes that they've done the last few years where he's fighting with his family and, you suck, Batman. You suck. It's him being Batman. And it looks gorgeous.
That's what I liked about oh man, why can I not think of it now? The Twilight Batman. What's the guy's name?
Oh, Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. That's what I liked about his Batman, is that it's more along the lines of The Dark Detective.
Oh yeah,
it's more like that. Those movies, that movie, and this next one, I hope, is more along the lines of detective comics than what it is an actual like superhero type comic.
I still think Batman Begins is the best of the Nolan trilogy.
Oh yeah,
I think it holds up the best. Dark Knight, as much as I love that, it's got a lot of holes.
It's a different Batman.
Which one, Dan? The first one?
Batman Begins, I think, holds up the best.
With Ra's al Ghul? Yeah, that's my favorite out of the 3.
Yeah, and I hate Dark Knight Rises because the whole Occupy Wall Street nonsense, and then the thing with as Nolan was filming the movie, Warner Brothers said, "Well, it doesn't matter if this thing won an Oscar. We're going to reboot it anyway." So I'm like, "Well, why even try? I mean, why even make a good movie if you're going to crap all over it like that?" Dark Knight, I think, is great. There's elements of it that are great, but some of the plot just makes no sense if you really watch it carefully. The Heath Ledger's Joker's incredible in it. I don't think he's my favorite Joker. I think my favorite is Jack Nicholson. But I don't know. It's kind of like Jordan and Kobe, in a way. But they serve different versions of the Joker.
Jared Leto is my favorite Joker.
Are you kidding me? Turn this thing off. That's BS.
This will be our last episode today, folks. And, we appreciate you.
Cesar Romero is the quintessential.
Come and check David and Dan's podcast.
Joker.
I love Cesar Romero Joker. So I'm on this Ocean's 11 kick, and Cesar Romero is in Ocean's 11.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's marrying one of the guys' mother. And, of course, it's Peter Lawford's mother in the movie. And Peter Lawford and him do not get along at all. And Cesar Romero's character figures out the heist that the guys pull off and wants to get in on it. And he says this great line. He's like, he goes, remember, 50% of something's better than 100% of nothing. And he does this thing where he clicks his fingers and waves down, like he's standing up, like he's rolling dice, how he waves goodbye. It's like, when I'm old, I want to be like him.
Unsubbed over the Jared Leto comment.
I think I'm gonna adopt that as my goodbye. Instead of saying goodbye, I'm gonna be like, out of here.
Hey, there you go. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do that from now on. That's my signature. You start here, folks. The beginning of a new legend. There you go.
I'll take production credits for that.
Hey, let's get into some new.
Well, hang on just a second. And I'll tell you why Jared Leto is my favorite Joker.
Oh, come on.
It'll only take a second. It's because at the end of the Snyder Cut, the scene at the end of the Snyder. Now, keep in mind, I haven't seen anything else with Jared Leto's Joker in it. This is the only scene that I've watched.
Oh, no.
And it was the end of the Snyder Cut Justice League movie. I think that his character, he did a really, really good job for that scene. Otherwise, my favorite Joker would have to be Heath Ledger. I think that he portrayed a fantastic version of that character, just being completely unhinged and maniacal. And that's what I always thought the Joker should be.
Well, I like how Christopher Nolan said that the Joker's like a hurricane. He blows in, causes maximum damage, and blows out.
Yep.
And I think when you get past that, I thought not that I'm a huge Mark Hamill fan these days, but his Joker on the animated series, I thought was pretty great. Thought he's pretty brilliant in that role. I think the Joker's had some really great interpretations over the years. Jack reminded me a lot of Cesar Romero, but more of a gangster. And just, I don't know, there was some great. Batman '89 is one of my favorite all-time movies.
Jack Nicholson has such great lines in that movie.
Oh.
You're my number one guy.
In the beginning,
being an agent of chaos.
In the beginning of it, when he's getting dressed and Jerry Hall comes up and she goes, "You look fine," and he turns and goes, "I didn't ask." I thought that was one of the coldest lines ever, and I got to do that when I was in high school. I had this girl. I had this girl in high school that I was dating, and we were dressed up going out with some friends. And I was getting my tie done like Jack Napier. And she walks up. I think this was a gift from God, literally. She puts her hand on my shoulder, just like Jerry Hall did him. "You look fine." And I was like, "I didn't ask." And I was just like, yes!
Good job. But
Jack Nicholson smiling, having a drink, that's my boy,
He had some great deliveries in that. He's truly an excellent actor. You can tell because you can act, right? You can do a part, but it all comes down to the delivery of the lines and how you interpret those lines with the other characters around you. And he did that.
Oh, and to Terry's point with Heath Ledger went above and beyond in his performance.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he
ends up getting himself manically depressed and ill because of it.
I think that's just rumors. He's an actor playing a part.
He was doing 2 other movies similar to that, and the 3 movies together got him all messed up.
He was just phenomenal, and just one of my favorite scenes in that is when he has all that money and he's sliding down it like a kid,
Hey,
and the Russian gangsters there, and he just starts. It's like it's not about the money.
real
It's
quick,
not making a
Terry,
point.
real quick, we should change the name of this to Comic Talk. No, you don't want to talk?
No.
You don't want to comment? Okay.
Well, David, our new podcast, which
No.
starts next Sunday, since we're Terry committed seppuku with Jared Leto comment,
Comic Talk.
D&D, Comics and Toys Talk. There we go.
All right,
D&D.
that's D and C. We can't even spell.
See, you need me.
No, David and Dan.
Oh,
missed
David
one over-
Dan. Oh,
Ow.
you know, then they
Okay,
might.
you can't use the goodbye thing now. You lost it.
Oh man,
You've
come
lost
on.
it.
50% of something's better than 100% of nothing, all right?
But then they're gonna think it's a podcast with me and my twin brother again because my twin brother's name is Dan.
Okay, I'm taking issue with that. My people are gonna file suit. Trademark infringement.
We were born first.
You might be surprised.
I think you'd be surprised.
So what's going on with your comic endeavor, David?
My comic, I gave you the update.
No,
We got
no. I mean, like, when are we going to be seeing some artwork?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
excited.
I can show you artwork. I didn't know you wanted to see some artwork.
Of course.
I can't show it to you right this minute. But
If you send it to me in a PM, I'll bring it up.
PM, I don't have my phone with me.
Okay.
Let's put a pin in that, and we'll do that next week.
Okay. So I want to show some of the stuff that we've been doing with the ARC project. We have an artist that is working on the pages and a cover. We want to get a couple more artists to do covers for us so that we have something, some special items for the Kickstarter when we launch that. Some unlock goals, additional things for people, 11 by 17 posters as well. I have one of those. As a matter of fact, I do have an 11 by 17 poster ready to print and show off at the next toy show that I go to. I've made a Facebook group
Yay!
for the project, and I want to show the first piece of that our artist has made. Let's go look at the cover sketch.
A lot of positive comments in there so far.
Yes. This is going to be the cover sketch for the first cover. This is the main cover of the book. And the story for this first one is The Mask of Mordred. And it introduces you to the ARC team and gives them a story, an artifact to chase, and ends up taking them on quite a trip. So that's the first piece.
Who's that artist?
Elijah Gavia, otherwise known as Zoo.
I've never heard of that person. What else have they done?
A book called The Dominus.
He did
1
all
and
the
2.
artwork for Dominus. He's done artwork for other books as well. I was
stuff
actually
going
just talking to him a few minutes ago, and
Is he awake?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we would like to get him on a live stream here soon so that he can talk about his background and some of the other stuff that he has worked on and kind of show like who he is a little bit.
I will say that
Terry,
I've known
recommend-
Zoo for quite a few years, and he's an incredibly sweet, wonderful guy, very creative, and when you send him a script, you get back what you sent him times 10.
Here's one of our art characters, part of the ARC team. These are the cardback sketches that were done by Rick Lopez for 2 of the main characters, and he'll be doing a 3rd here soon. And I've been sharing this in the Facebook group that I made, Artifact Recovery and Containment, Toys and Comics. And I'm trying to give updates as much as I possibly can as we have them. But here are some early design sketches for the character art. and early sketches for the comic book pages, the sample
Thumbnails.
script that we gave Zoo.
Thumbnails.
Mhm.
Thumbnails. When you do like preliminary pencils and stuff like, just to feel the page out and get the action and stuff like that, that's called thumbnails.
Okay. I'm no comic pro. I'm just a guy that wants to do stuff.
Just a simple man making his way in the universe.
Well,
I
highly
just
recommend
do things, man.
I highly recommend that you keep an eye on every stage of the art, because you don't want to have an inked page and have something wrong and have to fix it. You want to fix it in the thumbnails first, and then
Right.
the pencils next, and last inks, because that's difficult. So fix it in the thumbnails. Be on top of every layer of this concept going forward. So
Not difficult for Zoo. Zoo, we've done inks and had to redo pages, and he
Yeah.
gets it done like that.
You don't want to do that, though. You want to do it in the thumbnails. You want to do it in the pencils.
I'll
And,
keep that in mind if this doesn't work out.
And check out Zoo's art. He does book 1 and book 2 for Dominus, and he's going to be doing book 3 for me.
I have
And
both of those. I've enjoyed both of those, in fact, and I think he's an excellent artist.
Thank you. I never heard you never said anything about it, so I didn't know. Like,
we haven't
David,
talked really about it since I came up there. I think I had a gap, and then
you had stuff going on. You had some serious stuff going on too. So
yeah. So
here's another artist that I have on board for some of the character design and character art that we're going to be doing. Specifically the figure turnarounds and whatnot. He worked on the book. I believe he worked on the book, and he also worked on the card art, the packaging art, and the figure turnarounds for the Strike Force Alpha line. And this is Mr. George Vega. But George Vega also just did a cover. Oh, come on, share. What's this?
G.I. Joe.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. So he's going to be, we may end up getting him on board for a cover. He's on board to work on some of the character development, the character, like I said, the packaging artwork and the figure turnarounds that'll go to production.
Cool. You got it all set up. Good.
Very, very cool.
And depending on how things go, I would really like to get a couple of other names in this for covers as well. So
I recommend you get a name quantity for advertising purposes. That's why we got Jeff Whiting, because he's a very well-known comic artist. So I recommend the same thing. Not that your friend isn't known in the comic industry, but you need that advertising cachet to do those Kickstarters as a variant cover artist. That's just my suggestion.
There's a couple that I am very interested in getting on board, and I have not yet reached out to them. I want to get us a little bit farther in the preliminary stuff before I do that, because I don't want to put the cart before the horse, and I have a really bad habit of doing that.
Yep.
You don't say.
Smart. Yeah. Get some pages of art in there.
I get a big thing of text from Terry and Messenger. I'm like, no.
And then
Did
just
you read it?
me.
No, I didn't read it. No, the answer is no. Just wait.
No, get some artwork done. Get some pages in there. Get a timetable as to when this is going to be printed. Then you can get yourself a cover artist. It's a lot easier to get a cover artist than it is to get a penciler and inker to do 22 pages of a comic series and get it all done on time, on schedule.
This first book, so far, it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 42 pages.
42 pages? You're kidding me. Are you doing one-shots?
One story per book, yes.
Okay, so a one-shot then. Okay, well then, yeah, that's going to take even longer if you're 40-something pages. Because are you going to have advertising? Are you going to have sponsors? What are you going to have in there?
Not going to have any sponsors. We're going to do this organically by ourselves.
All right. Interesting.
If it works, it works, and if it doesn't, then so be it.
You know, but the thing is, my dad once told me when I first started doing my project, and I started getting artwork back. He said, "Win, lose, or draw, you've already won." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Because you had the balls to do this."
Yeah.
Where 99.9% of the world sits and talks about doing something, you were that 1% that actually did something. And,
the way that I look at it, people are either going to like my idea enough to get behind it, or they're not.
Right.
And I think it's got merit. I think it's got a lot of merit.
I think it does too. I think it's phenomenal.
And it's going to be fun, and it's going to be kind of like the old, I tell you what it kind of reminds me of in a way is not in the story, but like reminds me of the old He-Man comics you'd get with the figures, where there was like a self-contained story. It tied into some of the figures in that wave, and then you'd get figures in wave 2 that had their own story.
And that's exactly what I want to do.
It kind of reminds me of that, and you get that connection. Wait till the Sunbow cartoon comes out for ARC. That's going to be incredible. We're not using Dick. We're using Sunbow. We're not doing that.
Get that anime style.
Artifact recovery and containment. Blah 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 blah. Their mission like we're not doing that at all. No.
The only thing that concerns me about this is there are 2 other properties that have that name, the video game and the Amazon animated series. So that's the thing that's you've got to make sure you advertise that it's not that, it's something different.
What has this name?
The video game, the ARC, and the anime that they made of the video game that's, I believe, on Amazon Prime. I've told you this twice already.
No, you have not, sir.
I have too.
No, you haven't.
Go back and watch our videos and you'll see.
Spell it out, dude. Spell it out.
ARC, the ARC. It's a video game.
No, sir. That is not the same name.
Oh, it isn't? Okay.
Nope.
What's it called?
ARC Raiders.
Ah, okay. All right.
Totally different
plus
thing.
This is a different, even if it were spelled similar, it's a different medium.
Yeah.
So it's comic book or graphic novel content and or
toy.
I think
that's what you need to spell out when you're doing your Kickstarter, that this is not the same thing.
I think people will figure that out when they.
Yeah, I think that people will be able to figure that out by looking at it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because it looks nothing like that.
All right.
Yeah, because I actually put the work. I'm not just going into this blind, David. I actually put the work into making sure that nothing else had this name or this concept.
Well, that's great. That's the way to do it. I applaud you for that.
Terry's been very methodical about it.
Yeah, it's an upcoming multiplayer extraction adventure set in a lethal future Earth ravaged by a mysterious mechanized threat known as ARC. Okay.
Well, that could be the potential future if the Mask of Mordred isn't recovered. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so it looks like this is all in development.
The video game came out, I believe.
It says it's in development.
Okay. Well, I know the anime is out because I watched it. And I liked it.
There is no ARC Raiders anime.
Not Raiders.
It is an upcoming video game, specifically a third-person multiplayer extraction adventure that is scheduled for release October 30th. Let's see if there's an ARC Raider Amazon series.
I think it's Amazon or maybe Paramount Plus, one of the two. But I have watched it.
There is no ARC Raiders cartoon. Instead, there is a multiplayer extraction adventure video game. Yeah, so what is it that you watched? Do you have a link to it?
It's called The Ark. I know that. I'll go after this is over. I'll go and I'll pull it up on Paramount Plus or Amazon Prime, and I'll do a screenshot and I'll send it to you.
David, that's ARK, the animated series.
Oh, okay. So two different things then.
Three completely different things.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's why I'm concerned.
Yeah, 3 completely different things.
All right, good.
So just to be clear, I'm not just blindly going into this taking the name of something else without putting in research to make sure that I'm not already copying something that's already been done.
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about too. So that's great that you're not. So let's segue over to some G.I. Joe.
What are we doing?
G.I. Joe. What did you get in? Do you got pre-orders come in? What's going on?
So I got the Major Blood today. Like I said, my wife handed that to me. And before we hit the live button, we were talking about how Pulse seems to be sending out just single figures here and there instead of shipping out multiple figures like they used to. And this is one of those instances where the Pulse Premium membership would really come in handy, because shipping individual figures and paying for the shipping on each one of those would rack up pretty quick.
Yeah. I recommend anybody that's buying classified, if they're getting them through Pulse, get the premium. It's worth it. Just three or four shipments, you've already made your money back. And then you can get in there early for early bird stuff. And the only thing that would make that even better is if there was some sort of incentive kind of things like posters or preliminary materials type things like patches or whatever that you could get with the membership to kind of make it like a club type of thing. That would be the only thing that I would like. But it's fine that I can get stuff early, and it's fine that I get my stuff without the shipping and everything. My HasLab, other people are like saying the HasLab was going to be $358 or $359. I think mine was $334.
Yeah, because you're not paying the shipping charge on that, which HasLabs, the shipping on those is, I'm going to say, I don't know exactly what it is if you're not a premium member, but I know what it is to ship them outside of there via FedEx, and it's about $27 to $30.
I think Unicron was close to $100
shipping.
Yeah, if I remember correctly,
yeah,
maybe about 80.
Massive.
Yeah.
Now we were speculating on the reason for the single shipments or whatnot. I get all my stuff at the shop comes in single. So I'd get one case of Major Blood, one case of like solid cases of just the figures. They don't really do the assortments anymore, even though they're in assortments. So I think that's partially the reason. And then also Terry speculated that their distribution is just absolutely busted, and which has been a problem for about 15 years, honestly. If you look at Targets and Walmarts and shops like mine and online, it's just all over the place. As far as
right now, it seems to be as bad, if not worse, than it was during COVID. And COVID was absolutely abysmal for just about everything.
It's way worse. I agree with you, but I want to bring a comment up about something you said during the Circle of Jerks the other day about the fact that they did the porta potty, then they did the Joe porta potty, like they printed them right together. So they sent them both probably at the exact same time, because I just got the Cobra porta potty like about a month ago.
No, David, what I was saying was that they had ceased production of the Cobra version to start production on the G.I. Joe version, which is why we ended up having such a, I don't know if it was such a limited amount or if it's just the fact that it sold out so fast and didn't go back into production and renew like some other things have. I think that they had already started on the production for the G.I. Joe version, much like they did with the Vamp. They made the G.I. Joe version, then they retooled for the Stinger.
Right. I think you're right about that. I think you're correct in that, because they definitely shipped out all that together, because we got the Cobra one and I've already got a notification for the Joe one. We just ordered the Joe one at San Diego Comic-Con about a month ago. So the fact, I think you're 100% correct. That's exactly right. The Vamp situation with the Stinger, they way overproduced because people wanted the Stinger, couldn't get the Vamp, and they overdid the Stinger. That's why they're showing up at Walmarts now and stuff like that.
$75.
Which I see. That's why I think that mask stuff's going to be at Walmart. It's going to be cheaper. That supports my theory that we're going to get that Loyal Subjects mask stuff at Walmart in a couple of weeks, probably when they reset. But back
You
to
very
G.I.
well
Joe.
may.
You better.
Yeah.
You better.
Well-
It's on you if you don't.
You
Yeah.
may. I don't look for my Walmart to be carrying anything cool anytime in the near future. My Walmart.
I'm gambling on Loyal Subjects. I'm gambling on that. Hasbro I wouldn't gamble on, and other things I wouldn't gamble on, but I'm going to gamble on Loyal Subjects based on the track record and how they've done that. All their products showed up at Walmart. It's an abundance at Walmart. It's cheaper at Walmart. I think we're going to get masks, and I think it's going to be cheaper. That's just
Terry, this is a weird, very off-topic question for you. Do you have a Dungeons and Dragons Presto for sale?
Dungeons and Dragons Presto.
6-inch.
I may.
Okay, if you have one, I need one.
I may. I'll just sell you all of the Dungeons and Dragons stuff that I have.
So I'm looking at my Dungeons and Dragons thing over here, and I was like, I need Presto. So I just,
Man,
Um,
talk about a failure of a line.
well, and that's the thing about that is that then Super 7 goes all in and does the dragon and this and that, and there's supposedly another wave. I'm like, it failed in multiple ways, and you're gonna try and get the brand and do it again, and you think it's gonna succeed?
more expensive too.
More expensive.
Well, the movie figures didn't even come out anytime around when that movie came out, did they?
No, because that was around COVID, wasn't it? So that was all
Yeah.
messed up. That was all messed up. Yeah.
Because that probably would have been pretty cool if it would have been in conjunction with the movie, but
Yeah.
instead, it was a bunch of figures nobody had context for or didn't care about after the fact.
Yeah. So I've got a lot of notifications, Terry. Do you have a lot of notifications? I got a Snake Eyes version 4 notification. I got Budo notification, Slice and Dice notification, the Joe Porter Potty
I don't have all of
notification.
that.
All those notifications you don't have?
No, I got the one for the Snake Eyes, but I don't have notifications for literally anything else. Yeah, nothing.
So it's weird. It's so weird how this stuff is showing up and stuff like that. And it's definitely, you're right. I definitely believe that the distribution is messed up. And I don't know how they can fix that. I really don't. And the fact that some places are getting it earlier than that, I used to hate that. I was getting it through Entertainment Earth, and I was like literally the last person to get something. Now that I'm just exclusively getting everything through Pulse, most of the time I get it in the middle or early than anybody else. Except for the YouTuber guys that are getting it from the distribution center illegally sent over. Those guys. To do their videos, their early bird videos.
So who's getting them illegally?
Well, they're not technically illegal. I don't know what you want to call that, but they're getting the people from the warehouse to ship them over figures. What do
Are
you call
they?
that?
Or is it just the fact that they get released in Asia months before they get released here?
Do they? Do
Because-
they get released in Asia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude, there's a physical store that I used to have a friend of mine go buy stuff from and ship it to me. When I was doing
Well, there is-
reviews on stuff super early, like I did with the Transformers crossover Megatron,
Yeah.
I had that super early
Well,
because
there
it
is-
wasn't released here yet.
There is Chinese eBayers that sell stuff that comes out of the factories. Because I had some customers who are getting that stuff, and I said, so you're getting it illegally? They're like, no, they have a store in the factory. I'm like, no factory has a store that sells toys. But they were getting, because they had to be the first ones to get it. They weren't getting it from what you're talking about, Terry. They were literally getting it from a guy that gets it from a guy in the factory. It fell off the truck.
Here's one of the things that with producing stuff in China, as far as like Hasbro goes and other larger companies, if it's a popular product, if you order, and we've talked about this before, but if you order 10,000, like say you order 10,000 pieces, they're going to run 12,000.
Yeah,
Yep.
because they're samples, test samples.
No, they're not test samples. They're after hours runs for themselves to sell.
What?
Yep.
Yeah. It happens all the time with multiple different toy lines.
Holy
China runs extras of whatever they're making to sell themselves to make more money.
Wow.
Yeah, because they don't obey our copyright trademark laws.
So I believe what classifies being done in Korea now, right?
Vietnam.
Vietnam, that's right.
Is it? Because that's
Well,
what
there's
we
still
all
some-
thought. That's what we all thought. But Major Blood manufactured in China.
Huh.
We all were under the
Yeah.
impression that G.I. Joe Classified was going to Vietnam.
Well, I think
What happened with that?
I think they're with the tariff stuff, and they, of course, they worked out some deals.
China. You're
But
right.
somebody better tell Super 7 that, so
Yeah,
they
sure.
can Big Bad, so they can get rid of their
Right.
tariff tax. But
Right. The tariff surcharge.
yeah,
Well,
the-
that whole
the-
thing is
never
blown up
happened.
recently. Didn't they just report now that all your packages from overseas now are going to be searched, and they're going to check that stuff and make sure that it's certain things, and they're going to charge you more if it's a certain thing and less if it's. So now they're going to be searching all people's boxes from other countries.
I didn't hear
I-
anything about anything
I haven't heard
being
that.
searched, but what I did hear was that all shipments from overseas, from China, whatever, are ceased, not seized, ceased. They're ceasing shipments from overseas because of the de minimis exemption, which is for shipments less than $800. That's how I was going to try to bring in the Fans Hobby Skyhawk. I had to keep my order under $800. And then things kept going back and forth with the tariff situation to the point where I wasn't able to bring them in. It was going to cost way too much money, and it was going to be cheaper for everyone to just order from places that already had them.
Wow, it's a mess.
It is. It is a mess. Every bit of it's a mess, and it's aggravating. It's annoying, and here lately, what I'm trying to do is just kind of go with the flow and let things do whatever they're going to do. I know that I can't. I know that I'm having problems getting new product to sell, so I'm losing out on a lot of that, and mostly relying on just my cases, which are made in the U.S., and my 3D printed stuff, which I can get filament that's made in the U.S. So.
Sorry about that. That sucks.
Yeah, it does, man. It really does. The distribution from Hasbro being so screwed, I have mostly stopped selling regular classified figures, mainline stuff. I've stopped buying that to resell because, hell, by the time I get it, it's probably going to be on clearance already with Target or Amazon or Walmart. I mean, hell, dude, look at Crystal Ball. We talked about that in a couple different shows.
Yeah.
How messed up the distribution has been with that and why, but it doesn't change the fact that it's happening. So
I understand.
yeah, somebody should be really called on the carpet about that, or fired, or reprimanded, or just
I don't
fix the
know if
problem.
there's anything they can do about it.
What about the Target Geek Out and the Walmart whatever the hell it's called, the Walmart one? I can't even think of the name of it.
Collector shop, collector con. That's what it is.
What was it?
I think it's Walmart Collector Con.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Geek Out thing was supposed to have the Steeler and what Steeler and Short Fuse.
Yeah, now it's rumored that it might not be part of that. I saw Shark News cover this just this morning, that they have dates now for the Pythona, what shows it's going to show up, where the Steeler and the Short Fuse is going to show up, possibly the 30th of the Target. And nobody knows where the Walmart one's going to pop up yet, because they haven't given a date on the Walmart one yet.
I don't understand why they make this stuff so incredibly difficult. Like, how about you make a good product, which they do, and you sell it and let people buy it and you make money, instead of playing these games like
it's lean manufacturing for most of the stuff they do. They want people to commit to buying it before they make it, because if they're not enough people commit to buying it, they're just not going to make it.
And I mean, I'm fine with that, but there's enough people that want to buy it. You know, it's like, I don't make me run all over God's green earth to try to buy this stuff. Like, just let me get it.
And you have people who constantly talk about wanting to see stuff on store shelves in Walmart or whatever department store they go into. And the only reason they want to see it is so they can walk by it, look at it, and say, "Oh, that's cool. I'll wait until they put it on clearance."
Yeah. Or goes to Ollie's.
I'm not a clearance buyer. I'm not a clearance buyer, but I'm definitely a frugal buyer if I can get something at a decent price, like the Loyal Subjects massive figures. You know.
My philosophy has been since I started making money when I was 16. If I want it, I'm going to buy it.
That's
I'm
right.
not going to sit and wait around like, maybe I get a new TV right after Christmas or something. That's different. But like if I want to get a GI Joe or I want to get a comic or I want to get a car or whatever, I'm going to go get it.
Yeah.
And if I get a break on it, great. But I'm not going to like alter my life, or whatever. And it just,
Yeah,
but that's how the Pursuit of Cobra line died because people were waiting for stuff to go to the Ollie's at the time. What was it, Michaels and
Ross.
and TJ Maxx and stuff. And Hasbro's like, well, why? If they're not buying it, we're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Because they have to take a loss when they send that stuff there.
Yeah, you're right.
So they can recoup something.
I agree with you, Dan. And see, look, I missed out on my armor bot, but I'm going to try and get the best deal I can on the armor bot. I may not get it for what I was originally going to get it through Pulse, but I'm going to look for the best deal. There's a line there where, yeah, we want to get the best deal we can, but you can't always do that what you said earlier, Terry, with the gambling, where you're gambling that it's going to go to
right. It's clearance chicken.
Yeah. So I don't want to do that, but I am going to try and find a couple armor bots at a decent price.
Yeah, you have to. If you're going to do that, you have to be willing to not get it.
If I'm out somewhere and I see like Cobra Troopers or Crimson Guard on clearance, I can use a couple more. That's different. But like when those came out, like, I mean, of course, I got them in my store, so that's a little bit different. But like the ones that were exclusives, I mean, I'm not going to wait around and it wasn't FOMO. I wanted to have it, and I'm like, I'm not going to wait, to try to catch it wherever Target sends clearance, or I don't care. Like I'm just going to get it, I don't get that mentality because you usually miss out, and those guys end up paying more. For the few things they get cheap, they end up buying more stuff. They're buying Vamps from me for like $200, instead of getting it for $100 when they could have ordered it.
That's on those people. But I pre-order. I make sure I get in there as early as I can. I've made mistakes, obviously. I'm still waiting on my 2 divers from Target. It says that I got them. It says they're paid. Other people have gotten the divers. I haven't gotten them yet. So I'm hoping that doesn't get canceled. I'm worried now that I'm going to be the crystal ball guy and I'm going to end up losing my divers along with my armor bot.
I thought they canceled those.
Crystal ball to ship from Pulse, man.
Huh?
I've got orders in with Pulse, and I'm just waiting on them to ship for Crystal Ball and for all that stuff, really. But Pulse will ship it when they ship it, I guess.
Yeah, they'll ship it when they ship it.
I think some of these companies, Target, Walmart, Hasbro, whoever, is so worried about being Amazon Junior, and it's like, just focus on being Target. Wow. Focus on being Walmart. Focus on being Hasbro.
I do believe you're right. I do believe you're right, Dan. I think Walmart was in that mentality for a good 5 to 7 years. I think they finally have gotten out of that mentality and they're finally moving forward. And that's why they've combined. I wanted to make a correction on something that we had talked about last week. And you mentioned it on the Circle of Jerks last week. They have just dropped a new thing this week. They're combining their website and their in-store digital services. They're now going to be together, and you will be able to order digitally anything that's in the store that you are keyed in for. So if, say, you're randomly my store, Altamont Springs, keyed into that store with your cell phone, you will be able to order digitally what we have in that store, and it matches, supposedly, if our on hands are correct.
Which they never are.
They never are. You're right. So I'll admit that one. They never are correct. So they have done that. They finally matched that up. So that didn't take us long to get to that conversation, right, Terry?
Oh. All right, guys. We are at our hour mark, and we try and keep this show about an hour long. So thanks for joining in, and be sure to go over and check out the ARC, Artifact Recovery and Containment Facebook group. Join if you are interested in updates for that project. And we will have more stuff coming to you soon. So
have a great week, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Terry and Dan. Good talking.
Always.